Is this the God of the Bible? The human conscience and sense of right and wrong, which man has received from God himself, cry out in revulsion against such teaching. Have not Calvin and Augustine misrepresented the loving, merciful God of the Bible? Did God create us merely to be puppets, with him pulling the strings? Is our innate sense of making genuine choices of our own volition, sometimes rationally and at other times impulsively or even out of lust, a total delusion? God appeals to human reason. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18. No one can engage in reason without making choices between differing opinions, theories, options, or possible courses of action. Thus, without the power of choice, man is not a rational being. And surely, without the power to make genuine choices, man could not be a morally responsible being, accountable to his Creator. All through the Bible, man is called upon to choose between time and eternity, between Satan and God, between evil and good, between self and Christ. Jonathan Edwards affirmed that an act of the will is the same as an act of choosing or choice. Nor is there any reason biblically, scientifically, or logically why man, who makes choices of all kinds daily, could not also, without first being regenerated, choose between good and evil, God and Satan, and genuinely open his heart to Christ. Palmer calls it a paradox that although man is totally depraved and unable to believe, and that although faith is a gift of God, produced by the irresistible work of the Holy Spirit, nevertheless, it is up to man to believe. He has the duty to obey God's command to believe. This is no paradox, it is an absurdity. No one can justly be held accountable for failing to do what it is impossible for him to do. Could it be true that we really have no choice, but that God causes us to do whatever we do, having predestined our every thought, word, and deed? That certainly is not a perception held in ordinary experience, as Augustine himself argued. Yet, though so contrary to common sense, the Calvinist is forced to accept this view in order to support his system. Augustine, as will be shown in the next chapter, believed in man's free will, while Luther taught that man's will is in bondage to sin. Calvin says that the sin to which we are in bondage was decreed by God, and thus there is no escape except by God's sovereign act. If such is the case, then it is God who holds man in sin's bondage. Nowhere does the Bible state that God's sovereignty requires that man has no power to make a genuine choice, moral or otherwise. Obviously, if God's sovereignty makes man totally incapable of any moral choice, then God must sovereignly cause him to believe the gospel. Thus, the 5 points of Calvinism actually flow from this erroneous view of sovereignty.